Hello, NPX7 here. This is part 2 of a two-part video on reflections from 1 Corinthians 13. If you haven't seen the first video, please stop right now and watch that. Otherwise, this won't make any sense. This is actually a re-recording because the second part that I recorded was apparently 16 minutes long. Yeah, kind of defeated the whole point of me splitting it up. So I'm going to try to get to the point, and maybe it's quite possible this will become a three-parter. I hope not, but it's possible. I'm going to get to the point, basically. The reason that I would say that I reflected on the love chapter from my readings is, honestly, I have been thinking a lot about love. Now, yes, different types of love. I've been thinking about, having a romantic love. It's been a desire of mine for as long as I can remember. I want to be married someday. Although I realize it may in fact be God's will that I'm single for the rest of my life. And I'm not really keen on that possibility, but I do know that if I seek the Lord, and that is His will, He will equip me to deal with that. Because the highest priority for me, period, is the Lord and His will for me in this life. And I know that my life is not about me. It is about Him. Every person's life should be about Him, about being obedient to Him, doing His will, and bringing glory and honor to Him. That's what life should be about. But and thinking about love, of course, as I said, I thought about love, romantic love, wanting to be married one day. But I also thought of the misapplication of love. I also thought about the fact that I don't really like the English word love, because it's vague. I mean, you can say you love a cheeseburger, or you love a friend, or you love a significant other, or there's any number of things you can love, and often, unfortunately, you have to kind of describe or explain more fully what you mean when you say you love somebody. Well, with Greek, you have 4 different words for it, and they convey 4 different things. Now, I'm not going to bother listing them because honestly, I forget the 4th one, but I like that, and that reminds me, I would like to read C.S. Lewis's 4 Loves work, and in general, I typically like to read his nonfiction, although I do appreciate some of his fiction. But anyway, so in thinking about love and reflecting more on or explaining more of the particular blog that I read, excuse me, I need a glass of water, apparently. Wow, that was a loud noise. Anyway, apparently I need to fix the straw. Going back to the video. Of course, all of these things are going to happen while I'm recording. Fun! Just hope the camera doesn't fall. Anyway, and explaining more on that and reflecting more on that, and I'm doing this because it's over there on the table, the thing that I read, the blog that I printed out. I just was reflecting on love in general, and big part of my life, or a thing about my life, is I want to present Christ to people in my daily life, in my actions, and yes, in my words. But the reality is that most of the people that I interact with in my daily life, I won't really necessarily say all that much to them. And they're really only going to see Christ, hopefully, in the way I act. I want, when people look at me, when they notice me and they observe me, them to think, there's something different about him. Wonder what that is. And that will then provide an opportunity for me to witness to them, for me to point to Christ and to express my faith to them. I want to do that. I take very serious the Great Commission that you find at the end of Matthew and Mark. That we are to make disciples of all the nations, baptizing in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. I take that seriously, and I want to do that. And I do pray often for opportunities to evangelize to people. But I mean, I want to show the love of Christ to people, because the reality is that unfortunately, a lot of people, and maybe particularly America, although I guess it's pretty big in other parts of the world, there's a lot of bad representatives of Christians. A lot of them perhaps are Christians who are not acting rightly, and others are people who say to be Christian but really aren't, because their actions, their deeds that they commit, they don't show any sign of really being a Christian. They have a faith that is basically dead. As James talks about, we are to have a faith. Faith without works is dead. That doesn't mean that you have to do something in order to gain salvation. It just means if you don't produce good works, if you're not a good tree that produces good fruit, then you're a dead tree. You're not really a Christian. And part of being a believer, a genuine believer, is that you are made a new creation, and you have a desire to be obedient to God, and you have a desire to do good works, and you will reflect that. So I mean, basically, I want to show love to people, and big aspect of my life. I mean, for career-wise, I want to do ministry. Now, pastor, no. But I do want to do ministry, and I'd say in some, perhaps, I guess, unofficial capacity, because I don't have a degree in it. I didn't get it when I was at seminary. I left seminary for various reasons, which, if you really want to know, you can ask me. I was working toward having a master's in biblical counseling, or master's in divinity with biblical counseling. I mean, in an unofficial capacity at this point, I want to counsel people. I probably more than likely will eventually get a degree. Probably not at Southeastern Baptist Theological Seminary, but maybe at another school, another seminary, like Luther Rice, I believe, is one. But anyway, but yeah, I want to do ministry. I want to proclaim Christ to people. That's just a very, very important thing to me. So yeah, this video is probably going to be long. I could go on, and I really don't want to make this 3 parts, but yeah, I guess the gist of it is that love is something that's very important. It is important, I would say, to most people. And there is a genuine good love, and there's just kind of a it doesn't really matter type of love. And the type of love we are to have, you find from 1 Corinthians 13. So, I hope this video has been informative and perhaps enjoyable. And please subscribe, thumbs up it, say you like it, and comment. Constructive criticisms, of course. Or just comment that you like it, whatever. But yeah, until next time, this has been NPX. Later.